Hey folks, how's it going? Rash here, and welcome back to episode of Cards and Castles TV commentary. We've got some great matches lined up for you in this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right to those matches, starting off with match number 1. Alright folks, in match number 1 sees Soccer 5 taking on Balto Hammer, a little bit of Crusader Warlock going up against Viking Druid. See what this match has got in store for us as we jump right in here. Hammer's deck kind of looking more of a companion base at this point. I mean, I'm seeing Forest Watcher, Centaur. Kind of alerts me that he's going for more of a companion approach. Maybe he's got Elvish Hunter in here. Spiny, okay, adding on to the companions I see. Very nice. Meanwhile, Soccer looking to start off with some typical, just general things here. Looks like we put a Reinforce down as well. So a little extra draw power. Elvish Hunter, yep, pretty much kind of confirms it. Going to be a companion-based deck here. We'll see if Soccer's got anything for it. He ends up bringing the blue Firebolt, hits away the Elvish Hunter. And still hasn't moved in the Lumberjack yet. I guess he wants to protect that. So Balto goes with the Armory, so that's fair. Sets up a nice Armory. Horseman, though, going to go ahead and snipe that off. A bit of a lucky shot from the Horseman there. And now Lumberjack going to go ahead and get in for a bit of damage. We'll see if Hammer's got anything to deal with this. He does have the Forest Watcher from earlier, so he's going to end up using that to push away the incoming Lumberjack, or at least, yeah, the already on top of the castle Lumberjack, and block off this Horseman here. Although Blacks with Priest as a combination, they're going to be able to take out the Forest Watcher. Even though Priest wasn't really needed in that sense, I guess just wants to get a little extra board presence out. We'll see a second Armory go down from Balto now. I think he actually has drawn into all 3 of his Armories this game, the second one being met with a blue Firebolt. So really aggressive control here from Soccer, kind of just not letting anything stay on the board here. And I mean, that's kind of what you want maybe to do in a situation like this when you know your opponent isn't throwing too much out. It's good to kind of have that control here. We'll see how Balto responds here, going with the second Forest Watcher, clearing off the Priest. Not moving it in front of Castle, because that would be giving Darkbender a free trade, which I don't think Balto wants to do at this point. So we'll see Shaman from Soccer, and plus a Fear, so getting some draw cycle going on from this deck. This deck does seem to have a lot of draw stuff. You got Reinforce, Shaman, Fear, just a lot of cycle cards here. We'll see the third and final Armory go down, plus a Spiny to kind of block this incoming Shaman here. We'll see if Darkbender takes that trade. Looks like the Darkbender will take it, but Shaman moving out of the way, instead threatening the Armory here. Following up with the big boy, that is Kraxus. And Balto, I don't know if he's really got anything to deal with this big Kraxus. We see his hand isn't really looking too great here. We'll see a Centaur come away, chip away at the Darkbender, following up with a Spiny. That Spiny's going to go ahead and get a Bestial Rage, which I believe he's going to use to maybe strike Castle first. Okay, or goes with Darkbender. Darkbender, which means he doesn't really get the Castle hit first, so he goes and takes a bit of chunk out of the Blacksmith. Not going to be enough, though, I think, to kind of bring Balto out of the game here. We see a Dragon's Fire dropped. Clears away most of his board here. Shaman going to go ahead and clear away the Armory, which gets rid of the Centaur. Priest and Forest Watcher make the trade there, and that leaves Kraxus to smack face. That does put Balto on a 2-turn clock here. We'll see if he's able to kill off the castle in time, or if Balto can defend himself here. We do see Archdruid coming out, so Leanna going to be doing a bit of work here to defend the castle. Although Soccer does, I believe, bring out, the second Dragon's Fire, so that clears off one of the trends. Meaning the other one falls to Kraxus, and we're kind of right back to where we left off. And Soccer follows up with the Darkbender, which means lethal is next turn. Balto not going to really have enough to respond here. We'll see the Paladin, not Paladin, we'll see Questing Knight, we'll see Centaur. Both attempt to make a trade into the Kraxus, but ultimately not going to be enough to kill it anyway. So with that, I believe Balto surrenders the match, and the victory goes to Soccer. Very aggressive in this matchup from Soccer. We saw a lot of just control. Anytime that Balto stuck something to the board, Soccer immediately kind of terminated it. And I guess that's kind of what Warlock Crusader can sometimes be known to do. Just the aggressive control, not letting the opponent have any resources. And maybe this was a no interaction variation. Could be very possible. That's getting a bit popular lately since we've been showing it off here on the channel. So yeah, could have seen that variation. Or just, like I said, an aggressive control, which, has a lot of different approaches. But overall, solid match to open up this episode. Congrats to Soccer again for that win. But let's move on to match number 2 now and see what that one has in store for us. Alright, folks, and for that match number 2, we've got Sir Dorkly in the Warlock Viking build taking on Tucker in the, or Tucker 123, excuse me, in the Pirate Viking. Never sure if people want their, full username to be out there, but hey, might as well throw this one out there anyway. So let's see what both competitors have. I believe Tucker, yeah, okay, so Tucker's on the blue-green initiative here, as we can see, by the Rat King Mystic Journey combo in hand, a combo that's been pretty prevalent since we've been doing the casting conflicts here on the channel, but that's no big deal. We'll see both sides start off a little bit slower here. Dorkly will go ahead with the Lumberjack. Meanwhile, Tucker's got the guards. Fear from Dorkly. Looks like he'll retreat the Lumberjack as well. Okay, so opting to avoid the damage and the draw, at least for now. Maybe has a Blacksmith to buff up the Lumberjack, perhaps, maybe? Not sure. We'll see Black, though, on Tucker's side, met with an Unholy Altar from Dorkly. Okay, so looking to be some undead build from Dorkly's side of the board here. We'll see Tucker going to be more aggressive with these guards, at least one of them trying to snipe away the Unholy Altars, we can see up there. Windmage, though, okay, that's going to be a nice little counter action there, a little bit of a push. We know that Tucker's got one journey in hand already, so we'll see if that gets used to maybe bring out another guard to deal with this, or deal with the Windmage. Journey does get used. Lightning Blade as well follows up and takes down the altar. Alright, so a bit of an expensive way to remove the Unholy Altar here. So we'll see if that's, something that maybe it was worth while for Tucker to do. Necromancer comes in for Dorkly. That's going to clean up the 4/4 guard. Windmage going ahead, go all the way up to clear out the other guard that is close to his castle. Of course, the other one not really being a threat, and didn't want to kind of put it in front of the castle since he would have died to the guard. But no matter, Tucker using that second Mystic Journey to clear away the Windmage. Bit of an interesting case for that, honestly. I figured he was going to use maybe the Rat King in conjunction with that journey, but I mean, fair is fair, I guess. We'll see White Knight come down, Necromancer. Okay, no, not yet. The blue fireball hitting the Wizard, and then the Necromancer cleaning up the second guard. I knew the Necromancer would clear. So that gets the White Knight on board here. A little threatening for Tucker since his deck colors aren't the best for hard removal. Well, I say hard removal and executions in here. But, I mean, still. Burn in general, it's not something that Tucker is going to have in this deck, only the hard removal aspect in execution. We'll see Blue Firebolt and Drain Life, though, make this White Knight a whole lot scarier for Tucker to deal with. Looking to go for the Mordok, a bit lower here. Yep. Mordok does end up low there. I don't know what kind of English I just spoke a moment ago. So another Windmage from Dorkly's side of the board. Lightning Blade on that White Knight. Gonna go get the Shaman a bit more killed off, and the White Knight a bit more stronger. Tucker does draw into the hard removal that I figured this deck was carrying. So there goes that 6/10 White Knight. And a bit of Dorkly's momentum here has been kind of shut down with that. We'll see how he recovers. Lich Gravestalker going to be the play here, so of course Windmage may be looking to kill off the Mordog in conjunction with the burn next turn. And Gravestalker looking to spawn some more zombies here. Yenneroth hits the board, though. Going to go ahead and freeze off a majority of things, which is, I guess, fine. No harm, no foul quite yet here. We see a Yenneroth on Dorkly's side of the board, so got some Yenneroth action along both ends here. Drawing into another one from Tucker's side, so there is the third Yenneroth. Fantastic stuff. You'd love to see this kind of freeze chain keep going. And what we see, okay, we do see a fourth from Dorkly. So hopefully we've exhausted Yenneroth for the game. I have no idea. But we'll see Shaman come out back farther, okay, maybe setting up something with the Temple. We do see Lightning Blade onto the Mordok as well. I'm going to take a moment here just to pause it. I'm kind of confused on why Tucker didn't take the Lightning Blade value that was here. Sure, you risk losing the Mordok, but, I think the Shaman Lightning Blade would have done a whole lot more value here. You would have killed off the entirety of this board here, including the Lich, which on kill would have sacked against both these Yenneroths here. It would have frozen them off. So really, the Yenneroths couldn't do anything against the Mordok. So again, kind of curious as to why the Shaman Lightning Blade wasn't the play to make here, because you see there's just giant value here to take from it. And like I said, you freeze off both the Yenneroths, which means Dorkly's going to have a tough time using them later on. So we'll see if maybe the play was worth it. We'll just have to find out and see. So let's go ahead and continue the match. Let's see how Dorkly responds. Looking to go for the Temple of Five Gods, so that Mordok does get killed off. I guess the Lightning Blade wasn't really worth it. it seems like. We'll see a Necromancer as well, so a couple of other guys getting stronger in the back there, or in the middle area of the board, I guess, is a better way to go with that. We'll see Temple played, followed up by the Horseman. Going to go ahead, and we'll see a bit of chain lightning action around the board here. I think these Generals are going to do some big work here with the chain as well. We'll probably see the zombies get killed off, Gravestalkers, both Yenoroths potentially. Yep, Bridge Troll going to go ahead and clean up the second one, I imagine. Yep. So there goes that. And of course, the Temple of the Five Gods on Dorkly's side taken out as well. So yeah, Dorkly not in the best position here. I think being in the Warlock faction, though, with things like Dragon's Fire, might be able to clean up this board here, but we'll see Mordok instead. So unfortunately, has to go into the Yenoroth. Although the Horseman pops up, kills the second Yenoroth, and I guess Horseman does get the Shaman kill. So overall, a not so bad way to clean up the board here. Would have liked the Dragon's Fire, but I mean, still, this works, I think, just as well. We'll see Tucker go ahead and go into his another Mordok. I don't know if it's his third or second, but another Mordok nonetheless here. We'll see if Dorkly goes ahead and goes for the Windmage Lich play, or if he's got something else up his sleeve for this. Okay, he's got the Fear, so there goes Mordok. It gets pushed back a little bit here. It does power up the Arcanon Magic Eater a little bit. We'll see Windmage take a bit of the castle, going into the Grotesque Offering, so nice sacking it off to avoid the Mordok potential there, and getting him some more cards to utilize. We'll see the Dragon's Fire get used, so okay, there it is. A turn later than I wanted to see it, but that's quite alright. And Lich doing, again, some minor work here, getting 3 more damage. It is big at this point that they start hitting each other in the face, considering that, you know, no side has heals, so the more damage, the better. We'll see a Wraith come in now, push for some big damage, following the Eater as well. Second Temple, followed up by an aggressive Rat Hovel. Not sure if maybe that was the right place for it, but I mean, I see that Tucker kind of wants to use the rats a bit more aggressively than if he had it in the back. We'll see a Mordok get played. That's going to push the Wraith back, generate a Horseman that does kill off the Lumberjack here. That Lumberjack, or the Horseman, excuse me, is going to survive the chain, considering Mordok gets pushed back, so he gets the trade with the Eater. Very nice little interaction there. We'll see a Lumberjack from Dorkly as well. Alright, we'll see what he's got. Doesn't have the Journey, which I think he really needed at this point, but instead looking to go for a third Temple. Gonna go ahead and use that to help, I guess, clear off the Lumberjack, even though he didn't need to. Bridge Troll, Blacksmith, going to be the following plays as well, and I don't like this positioning, considering that Mordok is very, or at least the big play here is for Dorkly to pull something like a Wraith and just fly over and smack the rest of its castle health down. And granted, it is a, it's a big chance here for that to happen, so we'll see if that is the case here. Going into the final moments of the matchup, does he get it? Or at least we're getting to the final match moments. Does pull the Wraith, and that does mean castle is knocked down. Victory for Sir Dorkly against the Mystic Rats. Overall, very solid matchup here. I think both mistakes both sides made some minor mistakes here and there in the matchup, but overall, definitely a strong ending for him. Granted, it was lucky with the Wraith. If something like a Horseman or Banshee would have popped out, it would have been tougher for Dorkly to, I guess, use that properly. It's the best way I want to put it here. But overall, like I said, he pulled the Wraith at the right time, gets the bit of castle damage he needs to, and that is a win for the Swarm. But with that being said, I think we can move now into match number 3 here and see what our final match has in store for us. Alright folks, and for our final matchup today, we've got youngjam in the Viking Ninja, going up against Chris, TB69, in the Crusader Viking. So a bit of Viking action here. We'll see which one decides to come out on top here. We'll see what both sides are kind of running, actually, for that matter. So let's go ahead and jump right into the matchup here. We do see Chris has got the Question Egg probably for his first play. Youngjam starting off with the Lumberjack, which we've kind of seen a lot in this video, but that's quite alright. So we'll see Question Knight come down here to intercept the Lumberjack. We'll see if Youngjam decides to take the draw or not. Looks like he'll get a Dragon Search to hand, brings in the Fire Drake. That could be useful later on. Especially since you're running the Vikings, you get a little bit of that Fire Drake Chain Lightning potential. We'll see if that's in the deck for Youngjam. But meanwhile, the Question Knight going to go ahead, take throughout the castle after Lumberjack retreats. So Fire Drake going to be ahead, go ahead to be the card that comes out. and going to kill off the Questing Knight. Chris gets the 4/5 Knight of Flowers, though. It's going to make quick work of that Fire Drake. Following up with the Wizard. Alright, seems fair. I'm noticing Chris doesn't have a lot of options here if he loses this Wizard, so hopefully that's not the case here. We'll see Shadow Drake make the trade with the Knight of Flowers. Quite an expensive trade. We'll do see RedMaster come out, so that's probably going to be the card that Chris goes into. Certainly since that would get him some great draw power for this deck, or for these color choice even. We'll see youngjam respond with Green Drake. Certainly seems fair. Not going to push it though, so that does signal potentially an Aeroth if youngjam's got it. Maybe doing some swooping in, maybe eliminates the Tarius, we'll see. Tossing it back to youngjam though after Rune Warrior gets played. No Aeroth yet. We do see Green Drake sort of take a corner spot there, and Stone Dragon Statue reveals the Fire Drake, the second one for this matchup. We'll see Blacksmith come down, probably or Cleric actually follow, excuse me. Rune Warrior comes in, hits face for 2, thanks to Chain Lightning, and takes out the Lumberjack in the process. Throwing it back to youngjam though, would like to see an Aeroth potentially soon. Nope, we'll see a Cloak of Ice. Alright, that's fair, following up with the Secret Dragon, I imagine, or at least that's the trap, I assume. Considering that he played his Green Drake quite aggressively. Not sure if it is, but I assume, yep, Secret Dragon. Yeah, got the money right on that one. So we'll see the Wizard take a bit out of the Fire Drake. Kraken's going to go ahead and come in to clean up that Fire Drake, the weaker one out of the two. Do see that youngjam still has one up top. We'll see if that's going to be used in any big capacity here. Lightning Blade, that'll do some great work actually here to clean up both the Cleric and do a little bit of chain damage. Takes out Tarius, takes out Kraxus. Yeah, certainly what youngjam needed here. He is certainly behind though when you consider how much Chris has in his hand. A lot of resources to be used here, I think, on Chris' side of the board. Rune Warrior takes another 7 damage off the castle. Questing Knight moves in, going to eliminate the Fire Drake, or at least attempt to, before another Secret Dragon is revealed, revealing another Fire Drake. Seems to be that's the theme of the matchup for youngjam. Just a lot of Fire Drake here. So we'll see Blacksmith Cloak be the answer to it, and that's fine. You know, Chris doesn't have a lot of options immediately to go into, so freezing it off, I think nullifying it is the better option. We'll see Green Drake going to go ahead and trade with the Rune Warrior here, following up with the Winds of Nord. Alright, a little interesting choice there. Dragons and Winds of the Nord, not something you see paired too often. So nice to see them getting a little bit of love together in one deck here. We'll see Arbiter, though, hit the board for Chris, and that's going to be a big 6 damage. Puts youngjam on a timer here as we move in ever so closer to sudden death. We'll see if maybe youngjam can get that Fire Drake, maybe some Chain Lightning as well, but Faithful Drake, Woe 10 going to be the card of choice here. Looks like it's not going to be enough here. That does mean that if Chris has something bigger than that Fire Drake, it's going to be lethal here as Rune Warrior comes in, smacks the Fire Drake. That gives the Blacksmith just enough room to come in and smack it for the final bit of damage. And the winner will be Chris TB69. Overall, very solid match for the Crusader Viking player here. We did see a lot of big boys. Rune Warrior, I think, did a lot of work for him in that match. I would like to see, honestly, I kept saying in the matchup here, I do think Aeroth would have been huge in this match for youngjam, being able to kind of push those Drakes ever so closer to hit the important targets like Tarius early before they generated all that card advantage. Would have liked to see that happen, but I guess it just wasn't in the cards here. So overall, solid matchup and a solid game. So again, congrats to Chris for that win. But I think now it's time that we go ahead and close out this video. So let's go ahead and do so right now. Alright folks, that being said, I hope you did enjoy this edition of TV Commentary. Let me know what you guys thought of the match by leaving your thoughts down in the comment section below and while you're down there. If you haven't done so, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it, sharing with your friends, and of course subscribing if you are new or haven't done so already. It is the best way to show your support of the channel here and help us grow, all by clicking that subscribe button at no extra cost to you. And yeah, with that being said guys, until next time, stay gaming.